Today I have a guest, a special guest, my big sister. I believe you've seen her in most of my previous videos. You can check them out on my channel. Today she's actually going to speak. She hasn't really spoken in my videos. Today she's coming to speak to us. So I'm going to let her introduce herself and then we'll get straight into the video.
Hi guys, isn't that what every YouTuber says? I am Natra, her not so big sister. Yeah, welcome to her channel, and thanks for having me, all of you. It's nice to be here.
Okay, is that all?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So today it's just going to be a conversation about unpopular opinions about the society, about relationships. So we'll be mixing the two together. You understand? Yes. So we'll get straight into it. And we are having Coke in a wine glass. Don't judge me, don't ask questions as to why there's Coke in a wine glass. Thank you. So she's going to read.
Oh, okay. The whole thing.
And we are going to dissect.
Marriage no longer works.
Marriage works. It depends on who you are marrying.
Okay.
So I don't believe that. Marriage works. But the question is, who are you marrying? If you are marrying someone you can't live with, someone who cannot be your friend, it's obvious the marriage will not work.
So how about marriage works depending on the people within the marriage?
Is that what I said?
No, I'm just
okay.
She just tried to bicker. So yeah, I think marriage works. We find ourselves in a generation where information is not as hidden as it was with the generation before us. Information is everywhere, especially with the age of the internet, social media. Everybody seems to be more vocal than the generation before us. Or even if the generation before us was vocal, they didn't have the means, the mediums that would channel everything they wanted to say. But we're fortunate that in our generation we have that. So things has affected almost everything, and we see a lot of marriages supposedly not working because now people are speaking up and people are hearing them speak up and people are learning from that. So it comes off as for those who prefer, for those who it says when a certain group of people in marriages are not speaking, so then there's this thing that marriage is no longer working because guess what, a group of people are choosing to speak up and wanting better in their marriages, not settling for things that previous generations would have settled for in marriage. So no, I won't accept that marriages are no longer working, because at the same time I know people who are married even within this generation and are making it, are doing their best at it and keeping each other within the marriage. Just as there's a good and bad side to everything. So yeah, marriages work. It depends on who is in the marriage and what they are choosing to influence their marriage. What?
Okay. I'm going to read the next one.
Okay.
So the second one says, money can buy happiness.
Of course it can.
How?
Like I said to the previous explanation, the explanation to marriage is not work. There's a good and a bad side to everything. There's nothing purely good. Actually, there's something purely good. God. But we're not here for that, right? I mean, but money can certainly buy happiness to an extent.
Okay.
I just mentioned God. God doesn't like poverty. He told us to go into the world and be fruitful. I recently found that, I mean, for a certain group of people, they found that passage to be about bearing children. But I recently found that it also means to be productive.
Yeah.
Work-wise, family-wise, friendship-wise, all relationships, all other aspects in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
So money can certainly get you closer to the things that would make you happy.
Okay.
I mean, if I love my parents so much and they fall ill today, they are sad, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're going to be sad, and I'm going to be sad.
Mm-hmm.
But if I have enough money to get them the medical help they need to be better, I'm buying them some time, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be happy. I will be happy too.
Yeah.
And for a girl, for a woman, for a lady,
you need all the money you can get.
Yes, because you have to buy sanitary pads. You have to buy medications for certain things. You have to take care of your skin. You have to wear the good clothes. It's money that does that. If I don't have all those things, I am happy. I'm not happy, sorry, but money satisfying that part of my life can make me happy.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a difference though. Money can give you joy. Joy is more internal. Joy is more about fulfillment. What deals with, we learned this morning, what deals with your psyche.
Yeah.
So your psyche has to do with your mind.
And what's your psyche?
Your psyche has to do with your mind. That's your soul.
Yeah.
It has to do with your mind, not your spirit and your brain.
Mm-hmm.
So joy happens to be more, psychological, which, I mean, money could help with happiness, but it certainly cannot make you feel what you need to feel within, which you have to work on yourself, not just the things you're satisfying in the physical.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I may not know everything. I actually don't know everything. So,
but you're making sense.
Like every YouTuber says, drop your comments and let me know what you think of what
Of course, please engage with us, okay? So the next one.
Why don't I ask the next one?
No, I'm asking.
Okay. No, feel free.
So the next one. You are the reason your life has turned out as it is.
I agree.
It's true.
I do.
Why? Because, I mean, we are humans. We are meant to go through things. That is part of living. You go through everything, all the necessary things you're supposed to go through. But you have every right to decide on what you want to do with your life. Do you understand? I mean, you have the full power. Yes, your parents will try to impose. Yes, your parents will try to impose, try to tell you what to do, what career to build for yourself, but you know what you want. So yes, it may happen that you try to respect them by following their advice, what they want you to do. But you get to a point where you have the right to decide on what to do. You may fail, you may make mistakes, but wherever you get to should be because you want to get there.
Yeah. If I can add to that, I tend to bring God in a lot. I'm a God girl.
Preach.
Even after creation, God could have imposed on us to worship Him by force. But guess what? He gave us the free will to have to choose Him.
Keyword.
So, at the end of the day, at the end of the story, at the end of everything, you decide what you are choosing for yourself.
It all comes down to you.
I mean, there's a saying that you can go to the tallest mountain and pray like Moses did. But if you're not willing to make the physical move to it, it's not gonna work. So yeah, you have to have the conviction to want what you want for yourself. It doesn't mean God cannot do what he wants to do with you. It just means you have to meet him so that he knows you're actually choosing him.
Okay. So we move on to the next.
That would be 3 questions, 3 opinions, unpopular opinions.
Yes.
On society.
About society. So should we go into the relationship?
No, let's finish society.
How many questions are we answering for society?
5 each, so 2 more.
Okay, I'm seeing so many things, so I'm just going to. People think that without studies
People think without studies there might not be any life. Yeah. Well, people think that, and yes, it's not wrong to think that. If you don't know, you can't be.
Okay.
Knowledge is power. Knowledge runs the world. If you don't know, you cannot be. You cannot.
Not just education-wise.
No.
I mean, you should
well,
have
wait, not just formal
education-wise.
But education is both formal and informal,
yeah.
and actually semi-formal. So there's the combination, like it's not almost like adult education sort of. It's not really formal. You lack of knowledge, my people perish. If you don't know anything, if you don't know how to farm, if you don't know how to cook, if you don't know how to walk, if you don't know how to speak, if you don't know how to relate with people, you cannot be. So studying, learning these things, knowing them is what makes you be. I mean, there's no debate in this, I think.
You can't live without trying to learn anything. How are you going to function?
You'll be too still for your own self.
So please, what does it say again?
People think without studies
there might not be any life. It is
but
true.
what people actually think is without formal education, you can be anything.
Which is wrong.
It's not entirely true. Because there are a group of people where they need a formal education to be something. And there's a group of people that do not need formal education to be something. When this topic comes up, especially where we find ourselves, Ghana, people immediately use Kwame Despite as an example that he didn't go to school, he didn't do so and so, and he has a lot of money. The point is, he's not a stupid man, he's not a dumb man. He knows. He knew what he wanted to be. He learned how he could be, not through formal education, but he definitely went through the processes and he got to where he is. So you can't just wake up and tell me that waking up every day, staying at home, doing absolutely nothing
bring you the money.
No, it doesn't work like that. No matter how simple something looks, it goes through a process before it comes to an end. You have to know that. That's what I think.
Okay.
So a last one.
Yeah. Wearing designer clothes does not mean you can dress well.
Of course.
Which I totally agree with.
Course.
Hey!
Of course. You don't need designer clothes to
dress well.
And you don't need to ensemble all the designers to look like you have dressed well. So just because you're wearing a labeled garment doesn't mean you've dressed well. Just because it says Gucci or Dolce and Gabbana
Louis
or
Vuitton.
Versace or doesn't mean you've dressed. I've actually seen people mix all of it up,
Hmm.
They wear, and in this part of where we find ourselves, you find them, like a t-shirt and it's written boldly or it's written in prints. So let's say Versace is all over the Versace,
Oh.
and then they wear the Gucci with, especially the brown with the green and the red on the
Oh.
side, and then they wear that also. Meanwhile, this Versace is like red, and then the Gucci has the brown, and then supposedly the red is supposed to be matching the red on the side, and then their kicks, their slides or boots or whatever is going to say what was the other designer I can use? Say Nike. And then you have it, and then the cap says something else, and you can tell that this person is a walking rainbow. Actually, a rainbow is really nice. The person is just
much.
all over the place.
It's too
just,
much.
Just a terrible ensemble. So just because doesn't mean no. I don't agree. You remember when the Off-Whites became a thing?
Off-White's bag.
The belts.
Shirts. What are you doing?
And you know the sad part? They're wearing designer.
Yay. We are not saying don't wear designer clothes.
No.
But
You can. You should.
Don't buy pressure for yourself.
Yeah. Why are you taking it?
What are we doing? Okay. So we are done with the society.
Yeah.
So we're going to move on to unpopular relationship opinions. So, I like this one. Long distance is easy with the right person.
Why do you like this one? Why do you like this one?
I don't know. I know someone who's in a long distance relationship.
Oh, okay.
And I think it's working pretty fine.
Okay. How long has the person been?
It hasn't been long. I mean, like they were together, and then one person traveled.
Okay. But how long have they been together since he traveled? Like, was it
the duration?
Number of years?
3 months, 2 months.
Oh, okay.
2-3 months.
Okay.
And they are doing well. I mean, just get the right person, please. Get the right person. Don't go and look for serious people. People who are too serious with life. I beg. You're not going anywhere.
No, don't mind her. You actually need a serious-minded person.
Yes, serious-minded person.
But fact is, from conversations I've had, yes, I have a lot of conversations. Thank you. I have a lot of conversations with my female friends. Well, even male friends, but lately it's just females. Long distance relationship, it's not easy, even with the right person. Yes, it may look easy because if you're with the right person, it seems like you don't have to worry about trust issues, what do you call it? Inconsistency, all the negatives. But you can't go from seeing someone when you wanted to, talking to someone whenever you wanted to, doing all the things you used to do together, to all of a sudden being several hours away from each other. So many miles away from each other, several hours ahead or behind each other. So that affects, that's the time difference. It affects your communication, because say you're waking up at 9 a.m. here, the person if 4 hours behind is waking up at 5 a.m. Yes. So it's not going to be the same. You're almost in the afternoon, the person is now waking up. You're used to your timeline, you're probably going to send a good afternoon, when actually the person is in the morning. The person's time schedule is all totally different. No matter how cool you both are, you're going to struggle with getting used to that. Even if you get used to it, you're going to have days where you just wish. But yeah. So yeah, long distance may seem easy between the right people, but it actually isn't easy even with the right person. It takes a lot to be in a long distance relationship, I think. And then if the person is not right for you, why are you even trying long distance relationship in the first place? If the person wasn't right for you when the person was close, why are you keeping
What
at
makes you
it
think it will
when
even
the
work?
person? Yes.
It won't work.
Just free yourself, really. Free yourself. It's very easy in this life. I don't know why you complicate it. Really. Many people think it is fun and comfortable to be around each other 24/7, but that is unhealthy. Yeah, many people think it is fun and comfortable to be around each other 24/7, but that is unhealthy. People need their space. Facts.
I need my space.
But to be honest, there's a group of people that want to be in yours. They prefer people taking up their space the whole time. There are people like that. Let's agree. Among the 4 temperaments, there's a group. I so that I don't get it jumbled up. There's a group that would want that. But there's some people like me. Just because I need my space doesn't mean I'm angry. I'm not angry with you. I'm not pissed. I'm not put off. No, I just really need some time for myself to recuperate. That's it. Really.
So we what?
Recuperate. Oh please. Yeah, you need time for yourself. I mean, before Jesus Christ gave himself to the whole world, he separated himself for 40 days and 40 nights. He lived until he was 32. Before he was sent away to die, he separated himself to be with himself and his father and a few intimate people. That's supposed to be, I think, was it Moses and Abraham who came to him on the mount where he prayed? The last place. Yeah, the last place he prayed before they came for him, and then Peter cut off the guy's ear. Elijah and somebody. Yes, thank you. Yes,
I know my Bible.
You know, so the point is, he separated himself. So if God in person
needs
physicality, needs time to be by himself, who am I? Full physical flesh. I need my space. I need some time for myself. I need to recuperate. Get myself together. Doesn't mean I hate you. I just really need to be this so that I can be with you. That's
okay.
Actually, so I have a friend. We're in a group, but the two of us are alike when it comes to that. We can be home the whole day. Yes. We can be home the whole day.
Louisa!
Shout out to Louisa. We can be home, each other's homes, of course, not in our homes, the whole day. Yet you call us to come out and we're like, no. Not because I don't want to be with you. We actually like going out, but not when we want to be with ourselves first. Forget it. It's not working. It's not. So even when we're together, after spending a few minutes, hours with each other, within that space where we're even together, we separate ourselves just so that we can, because we understand the essence of being by yourself. People think it's weird, but the truth is, it's healthy.
It's self-care.
Yes.
It's
what this generation calls self-care.
So in round 3, okay. Love is a choice, not a feeling.
Of course.
It is a choice. It's not a choice.
Well, it starts as a feeling, but to keep at it, it becomes a choice.
Okay.
You have to choose a person each and every day, each and every time.
This is hard work.
Yes.
Huh.
So yes, love is a choice, not a feeling. Well, I think it could be structured as, it starts as a feeling, but for it to be consistent, it becomes a choice. Yeah. I'm forced to give an example. My parents. they have the best relationship because there's balance. There's a bit of either side where you see them choosing to be with each other literally. Because even me as a child, sometimes, I won't say most times, I get sick and tired of my mother or my father separately. I look at each of them, I'm like, how are they even together?
How?
I've literally advised my mom severally to leave, so as I've done my dad. But they come back, and when they come back together, you're the third person. You hear my dad calling my mom, they have pet names for each other. My dad, when you hear Charlie, know that you are out. Mind your business.
Go and sleep.
They just sleep, wake up, and choose each other, and they even forget we exist. So yeah, it starts as a feeling, but you have to choose each other, even in friendship, because you have friends who will say the darnest things, spill your secrets, all those things, yet you keep them as friends. Louisa and I have been through that. We've been through that. We hurt each other, God, but we're still together. It's crazy. Yeah, I love you, Lou.
Okay.
Next. Is that all you have to say about that? Love's a feeling. And I've had someone choose.
If I'm not feeling it, I won't choose.
I've actually had someone choose me every time. For the past, since Corona, since 2020, I've had someone literally choose me over and over and over. It's choosing to want to talk to me, still choosing to want to see me. It's crazy. Look at God and Jesus and the parable of the prodigal son. Like, how can you go and ruin everything I gave you when you
waste
come
all
back,
the money?
See, you mess it all up. You come back in tattered clothes after eating pig food, and I still say you're welcome. Hey, it's a choice, really. That's how God feels about you, though. No matter what you're doing, all the shady things you're doing, if you come back, he's gonna say, hello, baby. Easy. I saw weddings. Too many baby showers, not enough weddings. Oh! So we're done?
Last one.
Okay.
Just because someone says I love you does not mean you are forced to say it back.
Yeah.
Save the opposing party some heartbreak and be honest.
That's true.
Just because you told me you love me doesn't mean I am mandated to say it back.
Yeah. Or just because you fall in love with someone in a particular moment doesn't mean the person is going to fall in love with you in that same
moment. It doesn't work like that.
It doesn't.
Stop expecting.
So there's an adage, love at first sight. I don't believe in love at first sight. It doesn't mean someone shouldn't. I believe it grows. It starts from somewhere and then it gradually grows. So what's the opinion again? The unpopular opinion. Just because someone says so just because you are telling me you love me in the first week doesn't mean I'm going to tell you I love you in the first week.
Exactly.
I'm going to have to see some things. You are going to have to cultivate certain things for me to know that, oh, I'm falling in love with you enough to tell you back that I love you too. And when I tell you I love you, I'm not expecting you to tell me back. Actually, when you tell me immediately, you're suspect. Yeah, it's
that
like
it's not going anywhere.
And it's like you're telling me because I want to hear it.
Yes.
Not because you actually feel it enough to tell me. But unfortunately, not a lot of us think like the way I do. I saw something interesting. Where did you read the love thing? Okay, so I saw it up here.
Creative.
No. I do not have the energy for meaningless and forced relationships as well as unnecessary conversation. That is the new me. Actually, since growing up, I won't I won't put myself in a situation if I don't want to. Even if I'm there and it's going on, I'd rather shut up and let it go than be forced to be like a part of it. No, I can't. I can't. How do people even do that?
It doesn't even make sense.
It's, it's vibe, it's energy, and you don't feel like that. Why are you forcing it? Because then if you're forcing it, you're stretching yourself, and you're going to need more time to recuperate that energy than you normally would. So why? I've been in a group of friendships where it's happening and I feel odd.
Because you are not saying anything?
Yes, I feel very odd because I'm not saying anything, I'm not adding to it. And I feel like I don't know enough to subtract from it. So I just go mute for as long as I can. Like, yeah. I feel very odd. To be very honest. Because, there's this thing where you're like, if you tell them you don't want to, like, it's all right, they're having that conversation. Yes, and then they're going to put you out of the friendship. But you're also thinking about how the friendship is serving you in that space. So you'd much rather just then shut up so that you keep the friendship than lose the friendship over something you don't even know about. So yeah, I mean that doesn't make I'm a terrible person. I understand, but yeah, I don't have the energy for meaningless conversation. I don't have the energy for that. Yeah.
For me, I won't even answer your call. I mean, from the first day, I know whether I want to continue talking to you
or not.
So, because that's what some people think. Some people think if you have like this kind of boundary, you are mean, you are difficult.
I'm glad you brought the word boundary, because then there's a thing. So I follow Hyatt Reader, and there's this thing she says: the moment you let your boundary down to please the next person, you are displeasing yourself. Why would I choose you, especially when you're a stranger, over myself? There's an unpopular opinion in Ghana now, and nobody is talking. You're not going to talk about this on your channel.
What's that?
Ghana is hard. Why are we said the entire world's economy, supply chains are messed up. The whole concept of there's an economic term, I've forgotten. Where if an opportunity something, where a certain country is able to produce so and so, but your country is not able to, you produce something else. There's so the person can bring theirs while you give them yours. That kind of thing. All of that is messed up right now. But Ghana. Ghana is hard. It's so hard that all the people around me are jackpine. 3 months. About like a ton of people around me have jackpot. If you don't know, jackpot is to leave the country, to travel. Everybody. I was having a conversation with my friend. Hello, Diana Glover. Ghana is like the rate at which people in her life are jackpotting.
She has to do something.
Maybe we might all as well jackpot.
So we're going to end the video here. Leave me any comments. Please like the video and share.
Yeah.
Okay. And subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.
Bye.